Hello friends, I'm Mark Anthony, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how you can actually work with family and friends. And this is a really important topic because I have a lot of people asking me, how do you actually work with family? It can be very difficult to work with family, doing healings on them, doing the digging work and getting into their deep issues. So what's the best way to work on family and friends? And this is, I guess, an area that I think I'm a bit of an expert on, because when I first started my healing journey, because I was half dead and then I was completely healed, I had a lot of family and friends asking me for healings. And so I was really thrown into the deep end when it came to working with family. And what I realized very quickly was there's a couple of really important things that you need to understand when you're working with family. First and foremost, they have to feel comfortable with you. And the way that they're going to feel comfortable with you is to be able to allow yourself to relax and allow yourself to be present in that healing session. Regardless of what comes up, allow yourself to be present there for that client. When you're there for that person and you know that when they know that you've got their best interests at heart, they're going to allow themselves to open up and they're going to allow themselves to dig and get to the bottom of what's really there. And so there was a couple of things that I actually did. Was first and foremost, I used to say to people, okay, you know what, it's really important to understand here that it doesn't matter what comes up in this healing session, because all it is just your unconscious beliefs. And a lot of those unconscious beliefs are based on misperceptions. And when we correct those misperceptions, we allow ourselves to heal and change. And so when they're opening up, when they're allowing you, when they're opening up and they're sharing their issues, what is really there for them, like what is their truth, it's really important that you're in a loving and nurturing state, a supportive state. If they feel any sort of judgment or criticism, they're going to shut down straight away. If you're going to be like, well, hang on a minute, no, that's not how it happened, then straight away that person is going to feel diminished and they're going to shut themselves down and they're going to think, you know what, I'm a victim in this situation, so I don't want to be here. So it's really important that you let go of any judgment or criticism. Understand that all you're hearing in that healing session is their truth. And that's the way they perceive that situation. And when you allow yourself to get into and allow them to open up into what they actually perceived in that situation, then you're able to allow themselves to see the truth of that situation and they can pull themselves out of it. If you get in there and you start judging or criticizing, straight away they're going to be closing the doors and that healing session is going to be a waste of time. The other side of things, if you are too compassionate with that person, if you start, crying with them when they're explaining how they were hurt in particular situations, then what you're doing is you're actually taking yourself into that hole with that person, and then you're both trying to dig your way out of it. It doesn't actually work that way. So it's really important that you stay empowered and allow yourself to help them out of that situation. And that's a really, really important thing. Doesn't matter who your client is, and it's even more so important when it comes to family and friends, that you don't get emotionally attached to whatever issue they're working on, whatever issues are coming up. It's really important that you stay, detached is the best word. Allow yourself to stay detached from whatever is coming up in that healing session. Allow yourself to just be present there, and they're going to allow themselves to get really deep into their issues, and they're going to be able to heal those issues really quickly and really easily. And that's one of the really important things when it comes to working with family, is allow yourself to be detached from whatever is coming up. And, there were times when I'd be working with my wife and all of a sudden she'd be explaining a situation. And the first thought I would be having is like, well, hang on a minute. No, that's not how I meant things. But you can't be doing that. You can explain that to them afterwards, but the key is respecting and honoring their feelings, respecting and honoring their perception, and getting to the bottom of that issue. When you get to the bottom of that issue, then they're going to be open to seeing different perspectives. Then they're going to be open to realizing that, wow, it wasn't really that way. It was just the way I took that in my mind. Because everything that happens in our lives has a cause. There's a root cause to everything. And if you're getting caught up in the surface issues that are coming up, then you're not going to allow yourself to help that person get to the root causes. So you may have been in that person's life for, the last 20 years. But the thing is it may be a past life belief that has created that issue to start with, or it may be a genetic belief that's created that issue. If you are just allowing yourself to focus on what is there for that person, what is a presenting issue, and you're getting caught up in that issue, you're not going to allow yourself, and you're not going to allow your client to get back to the root cause. And that's the really important thing. That's why the digging work is so important, because when we get to the root cause of the issue, we allow ourselves to heal that issue completely, and we're able to move beyond that issue. That's really important. So the key is to be loving, nurturing, and supportive of your client, especially your family members. When you're working with your family members, allow yourself to be present there. Don't get caught up in what's coming up. Remain detached from whatever the issue is. And then once you get to the bottom of it, once you heal the issue, then you can talk to them and say, okay, well, this is what I experienced in that situation. This is what I felt in that situation. This was my perspective. And once they've healed it, then they're going to be able to be open to seeing or understanding the way you perceive that situation. And all of a sudden, the healing is going to be absolutely amazing. But as soon as that person is feeling like they're being judged or they're being criticized, it's like, no, you shouldn't have looked at it that way. Straight away, they're going to put their defenses up, and you're not going to be able to get to the bottom of things. So it's really important that you're loving, nurturing, and supportive when you're working with family and friends. So in the next video, what I'm going to do is actually give you some downloads so that you can actually stay loving, supportive, and nurturing of those people, and that you can allow yourself to remain detached from their issues. So if you like this video, like it, share it with people that you care about, people that you know will benefit from it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure you keep an eye out for our next video, which is actually going to be the downloads for this video. So I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.